Thank you, Daniel, for the kind invitation and Dr. Doty for the introduction here. So, I'm going to share today something about myself, my source of peace, and how I have tried to apply it in my organization. So, I'm born in a city just like New York City. I'm born in Mumbai, in India, a city that is very passionate for sport, in particular cricket. So each day of my life when I was growing up, I remember playing this sport. It's a team sport. That's what I liked about it. I remember these images while growing up. What these images tell is this city is all fast pace. It's like New York. People are always on the move, moving forward. Unfortunately, at the same time, that's what leads to the top left image, is traffic jams. And it's busyness all over the place, right? So it's very fast-paced life and very competitive life. But what I learned from growing up in this background is like every event teaches you something. What did I learn? Is not to lose my smile, my energy, my enthusiasm whenever I'm amidst chaos. Right? Most of the times these situations take the juice of our life. And the other thing I learn is also patience. Like nothing is on time. So patience today is a leadership trait, isn't it? A leader needs to have patience. The second thing I'm very proud of is while growing up, my parents, my teachers, and my friends gave me the permission to have fun, to play pranks, and see the value of adventure and independent thinking. Perhaps it's that independent thinking that had a calling for America. So while growing up, I always had the desire, oh, I wish I could meet the Hardy Boys. So that independent thinking brought me from Mumbai to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And that was quite a culture shock. So I signed up for a program in petroleum engineering for a graduate degree. And I was fascinated by the impact that the oil industry has, the mega projects that bring energy from various sources. And energy for us is a basic human necessity now, just like food, clothing, and shelter. But while in graduate school, I learned the importance of hard work. There's nothing that takes away this learning. Hard work is extremely important. And I had friends in my graduate school from all over the world. So I really felt that I'm a global citizen. And I don't know about you, but whenever we leave our own country and go somewhere else, people ask you about where you are from. So people asked me, many friends asked me, tell me more about India, its culture. And even though you're born and brought up in India, you have not really studied what India stands for. So that is where I also spent my life in graduate school, is learning about my own roots, my own heritage. And it's not just because I'm born from India, I feel proud of it. I think it's a very amazing country. It teaches you the value of patience, tolerance, mutual respect, harmony in diversity. These are all global human values that need to be scaled up today. But I also was impressed by one man who I had read in my history books. I had given exams writing about him, but this book really touched my life when I was in graduate school. In fact, it touched me so much that how come a small, tiny man could shake up a huge British empire? I wanted to be like him. I wanted to, do what he used to do. Uh, and he used nonviolence. So Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela, it was a global phenomenon. He had actually triggered that nonviolence you can be proud of. And how do I get that aspect in my life was my journey. How do I become less angry, less frustrated, less miserable? That became my journey. That led me to a program called The Art of Living. And it's a program taught by the Art of Living Foundation all over the world. It's a program based on meditation techniques, breathing, yoga exercises. And it brought me in touch with the spiritual essence of India. Because if you think of the whole world as a house, India would be the prayer room. So I felt that why these things are not taught when I was growing up. It was a lack of dealing with negative emotions that had caused so much frustration, so much jealousy, so much competition. If I had access to these tools, my childhood, my youth would have been so much better. And so I found out who is the founder of this movement called the Art of Living, and I actually tracked him down and I met him. And it was just the most amazing experience. I had never met somebody who's so intelligent, at the same time so innocent. Usually when people become intelligent, they lose the touch of innocence. So I found in this humanitarian leader, he's a world-renowned humanitarian leader, the value of inner peace and outer dynamism. You can say that's IPOD stands for inner peace and outer dynamism. So this was a decade ago, and I since then have never missed a single day of my yoga, breathing, meditation practice for 10 years. And I started thinking, how can I bring this mental silence in my corporate role? Because if you think about it, we spend more time at work than at home. Isn't it? We spend 8 to 9 hours at work, and that's the time that we meet with so many people that need such tools, because it's baggage transfer is what I call. If I'm stressed at home, all I have learned is transferring my baggage at work. And if I'm stressed at work or while coming back home from traffic, all I have learned is transferring that baggage at home. So I started finding people inside Shell who meditate. And the first thing we did was we put a booth, a meditation booth near the restaurant. And that day, 200 people signed up. So for the small team, we felt, wow, this is the license to actually do something at work. So we had absolutely no doubt that we had to create some framework, because it's a technical organization. So we had to communicate the value in some technical jargons. So this is the framework we came up with. It's a framework we call at work as responsible employees. And this applies to any employee of any organization. So if you want to borrow it, beg, borrow, or steal it, you're more than welcome. It's in the form of onion rings, right? So you're peeling various layers of your own existence. The outermost layer is my life as an employee to the world outside. For this, every multinational has a framework. Within Shell, the framework could be a good neighbor, social performance, right? Social investment. If you peel that layer a bit more, it's my relation to the organization I work for. So this is the corporate values that companies these days make employees sign up, right? So within Shell, we have something called the sustainability framework. So every project that we do, we will use sustainable development thinking. If you peel that onion a little more, it's my relation to the team, to the people I work with. So again, within every company, it will have their own framework. Our jargons are diversity and inclusiveness. So you will respect everybody's opinion. Then another jargon in the energy industry, oil industry, is safety. So if you see somebody doing an unsafe act, even if it's a senior leader, the framework allows you to intervene, right? And make that person not do that again. But the innermost layer is my relation to myself. And actually that is a very personal space, because that depends on where you are from, what food do you eat, what music do you listen to, who was your grandmother, right? What stories have you heard? It's a very personal space, which very rarely we bring to the workplace. Have you observed? Sometimes you live Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You're doing something at home, but you're not bringing that authentic self at work. So this is the space that we chose to target. And having this relation, me with myself, it's all about self-mastery. It's all about self-development, personal development. So we created this very nice framework. We got the license to roll out activities in employee time. We did yoga sessions, meditation sessions, even vegetarian cooking classes. And through word of mouth, the word spread to many countries which I had never been to, but Shell employees heard about what we were doing. But perhaps the most important piece of work has happened in the last 2 years, is where I work in the GameChanger program in Shell. It's a very fascinating program. So my day job is to incubate radical ideas around energy. And our CEO, like all visionary CEOs today, are talking about more innovation. Right? So our CEO gave a call for action to be the most innovative energy company. So as the Aware Network, we started asking these two questions. We started asking, let's assume that everybody at work is innovative, is creative. What blocks us from being more creative? Right? And once we know our blocker, how will we overcome the blocker? So the blockers are not technical. That was the good thing. Nobody was saying, I wish I had the PhD in chemical engineering. I wish I had an MBA. Right? Most of the blockers were around these 4 levels of existence. People were saying that they are very stressed, they have lack of time. Second, people were saying that my ideas don't get valued because people don't like me. So it's judgments about me. Or judgments about myself. Hey, I'm a secretary, I don't think I can be innovative. The third and the most important blocker was fear of failure. Fear of failure. So risk-averse culture. So the call to action was, these are all a lack of mental and social skills. Do you want to overcome them? Which means it has to be a personal wish, a personal desire that, yes, I want to make a transformation. And anybody has done personal transformation, these are the 2 tools that are universal. The first one is science of breathing, assuming everybody is breathing. Emotions are linked to our breathing patterns. The reverse is also true. Using breathing exercises, you can manage your emotions. And the second is the technology of meditation practice. Meditation simply means the art of doing nothing. For 20 minutes, doing nothing. Good meditation practice will make you more focused, more effective in your communication. So these were the 2 tools we used, and the response has been very phenomenal. We have reached out to over 2,000 employees now. I, in fact, had a very profound interview with my meditation teacher, Sri Ravi Shankar, and he said in a very few words, he said, innovation means you have to step out of the box. For that, you need 3 cogwheels. The first is information, new information. Unless we have new information, you cannot have those radical thoughts. Right? Second is interest in the subject. So passion for a subject. You don't have to have a degree in mechanical engineering. If you have a passion to bring renewable energy in your town, if you have that inspired spirit, you will make it happen. But the third and the most important step is intuition. There's a gut feeling that, okay, this is the right idea for me to spend my time. Right? And today, mental silence, meditation practice can give you access to all this. You can create a mind which perceives, observes things. You can build trust by building your own social skills. And those few moments where your mind is in the present moment, those are the moments where you have had those ideas, right? So over the last 2-3 years, we have had very good success as an employee-driven initiative. So this is employees organizing these workshops for other employees. And you know, the numbers don't really matter to me. It's the feedback that I get every day in my inbox that these tools cut across both personal and professional life, right? So if you want an energized workforce, a more engaged workforce, how the science and the wisdom of yoga can help make a better individual, a better leader. So that's my story, and I hope it inspires you, it empowers you to be a change maker wherever you go. That's your homework for today. Okay?